Hey guys, thanks for tuning in again. We are still doing a little work on the, what should we call it, corner lot building. I'll just show you guys what I did off stream last night. I think I'm going to make this like a hotel or an inn. So this will be like the lobby of it. And then, so yeah, that'll go up to different rooms. And then on this side, I think this side will be like a, whoa. Side will be like a grocery store. Seems like it's big enough for a small, kind of a small grocery store. Didn't want to destroy my nice flowers here. Firefly bushes. All right. So I did also, if you guys noticed that slate at the beginning with my channel name, that's what I was working on just moments ago. Yeah, this is the outside of the building. So yeah, we're just leveling up this channel day by day. Got different rooms up here. Some nice views. Do I call it a bed and breakfast or an inn? Let me know, chat. Or a hotel. It's not quite going to be a full-fledged hotel. I think it'll only be like maybe 2 more stories. So it's not going to be super tall, but it'll have some nice prime real estate views until I build stuff here, maybe. Either way, prime location. In the city of Belvidere, the thriving metropolis. Once again, just trying to use a lot of different block types. But anyway, that's not the name of this video stream. VOD. I don't know what they call it. The name of this is Building Plaza. So you can see I have a plaza over here, and I want to basically replicate that. I want to have plazas kind of throughout the city. So this seems like a pretty big plaza, pretty good sized plaza. I'm gonna see how many times I can say plaza. Kind of chill here, the park bench. But the idea is, I guess, for some of these high-rise buildings to be either centered around like a train line, metro line, or a plaza. So this one is kind of a big area. Got a huge train stop here. Then you get off, you can go through the plaza. Let's see, I may turn my mic down a little bit. Yeah, I think I'm going to turn the mic down just a hair. Just do that real quick. Just turn the mic down just a hair. All right. Yeah, I kind of like the idea of having trees surrounding the different plazas. So I kind of added on here some different vendor shops along the outskirts. So I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. I just need to basically, the main thing is the strategy of where to put these plazas. And I already have, I think, plenty of granite. So I can simply... I'll probably have to do a lot of digging, though. My hair's getting too long. Alright, yeah. And if I was really on top of things, I would get rid of all this wheat and replant. But it's all good. Obviously, I need mud and wheat to make these make this skyscraper. So, because it's made out of mud bricks. So I was just kind of building over here so that the wheat would keep growing. And the idea is just keep replanting it, get a ton of wheat, which I do have. I do have a lot, I think. Maybe even more over there. But yeah, that's the idea. But I'm just gonna focus on the plaza for this for right now. And shovels. I have a feeling I'm gonna be digging a lot of dirt. And I should keep an eye on where my granite is. Okay. Now I should have some granite near my metro. Let's see, metro. Hope everyone's night is going well. Granite, granite, granite. Let's find some granite. You know, dirt and granite look very similar. Okay. Stone cutter. Thank goodness I already have a stone cutter on me. See, I said I had a lot of granite. Wasn't kidding. And we'll bring some mud, just in case. Alright, in the last episode I was talking about building the plaza over here. I think it's going to come down to where the best view is. I don't think I have any more iron. It would be nice to acquire some. I guess I could check, but I just know I'm going to need a lot of shovels. Shovels and dirt. Yeah, see, I really like how this one's coming along. These are pretty basic, other than all the balconies. And also on the other side of these, there's a bit more detail, like on the canal, where the canal comes in. It seems like there's more detail on the other side. But my idea was to have this kind of be like an alleyway, like to where these buildings, you won't even see them once the new buildings come in. Okay. so where should I build the plaza? I'm kind of thinking not bad right here. I could have it right off the road, but you know what? I think I'm gonna go further down, like where the water is. That way, um, I can get off the boat and then go kind of straight to the plaza. Wondering, okay, so what if it was trying to think if it's like a gradual. Okay, I'm thinking it's gonna be long ways like this. And then you have the water right here. I think that's what we're gonna do. So I kind of want to have it to where we'll just start. I want to keep my trees. Kind of have trees still going along either side, but may just have to open up onto the plaza. Maybe I could do trees at the top of the stairs. Okay, so I'm gonna have the sidewalk, which is 3. And so then, in theory, I could just start it right after 3. The question is, do I want to fill this in with dirt? I'm kind of thinking might as well. Definitely want to fill this in. Thing is, I would be alright if part of this was just left alone where there's space under it. Ah, okay. I didn't bring much dirt. Still see quite well. How does this go? That might end up being a very large plaza. Let's see, okay. 6. It's about 30 long, 30 blocks long right now. Yeah, I feel like that's a good spot for it. What if this was just like covered all this ground, like all the way back here? Kind of need to get rid of all these trees too. Start small and expand out. Give it a rest, zombies. I'm gonna have to kill them. Alright. Gotta clip that. This isn't gonna be too abrupt, too steep. I don't think so. I'm doing basically the same thing with the road. Maybe I'll do 2. Yeah, I might do 2 flat. Maybe 3. Yeah, I think I might do 3 flat. At least get off the road a little bit. I've already kind of come up with a name for this part of the, it's kind of another, what do you call it? Oceanside kind of peninsula. I'm going to call this Crownhall. Sounds really fancy, doesn't it? And it's going to be kind of a more upscale part of the city. Kind of like more luxury high rises. But there's a ton of docks that are already built too that will be like a nice landing point as well as this plaza. So like I'll go ahead and show you the docks. And also this there's like a river that kind of comes in through here as well. So the docks are over there, but made quite a few docks. And then I may like just keep extending it back this way. It's TBD on that. Always having some projects to work on in the realm. All right, it's taking shape quickly. Gotta get my stone cutter and gotta get a bed over here. You gotta keep a bed close by at all times. I think it's going to be kind of a notorious or a recognizable thing whenever you're in this city specifically, that whenever you see the granite, it's like all the plazas will be granite. So it's kind of cohesive. Now each plaza will probably be a little different, but the material will be the same. Let's see, I guess I'll do 2. Yeah, that's fine. 2 and then 3 again. 2 and then 3. 2 and then 3. let's see. So I also figured out how to implement the chat overlay from Twitch. So I'll show you guys real quick. I think it's pretty neat, but it also makes a noise. And I don't know if it makes a noise on the stream. But yeah, it's pretty proud of myself for figuring that one out. So feel free to drop me a comment. It would be cool to have some like input from the community about how my city could take shape. Because sometimes I'll build buildings and just not really have a purpose for the buildings. I just kind of like the whole like overall city design. And I'm like, I'll figure out. I'll do the interiors at a later, when I get around to it. But most of the buildings are kind of empty. They do have beds in the different rooms. So they're not totally empty. $67. If this is good enough height. Kind of want to go higher. What height? Okay, 68. 68 is pretty good. Is it gonna be like you're walking up the stairs forever? No, I'll do maybe one more of this 3-row. I do like the height when you're like looking out. Easy access to the ocean. Three and so put me at maybe 60. Yeah, 67. So I'll be at 68. So I still need to go up like one more or half a slab. All right, so this will have to be like a 2 up. Wait, oh no, that'll be, oh, actually that worked out perfectly. Because this is gonna be the height of it. Watch me run out of granite. I think there's a crevasse over here. Somewhere. Not right here. Definitely do not want to fall into this crevasse. So 26, 25. Let's see, how much room do I want to have over here? So I could put a few buildings here. Quite a few buildings. I'm just thinking this is going to be a big plaza right here. Which I wanted the like all the development to be out there. So I've got the docks, so I may put like a smaller plaza over there. And this could be like a bigger one. Or I could do like a open green space. Kind of like what I did over there. Oh well, I think if I put a plaza over there, it might not be enough room to like build all the buildings I want to build right there. So we'll just put it out of the way a little bit. Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? How is the audio? Check, check, check. Hopefully the audio is loud enough. Let's go ahead and outline it. 25. I can always expand it later. Come on. Yeah, some of these trees gotta go. Come on. It usually works for me. Wait, I'm at 68. Okay, I guess I was trying to go for that height. All right, we'll just fill in this and then figure it out. That's why it does help if you get the ground level. So you don't have to be like, so you can literally just go across so quickly. Did I place a stone cutter? Yes. Right. I'm gonna try to see. Oh, am I still live? Reload. Okay. Wonder if I lost the connection. Got an error message on Twitch. Bed. That's what I was gonna do. Make a bed. Dang it. Losing precious daylight. Precious daylight. Bed. Zombies are coming out. Just in time. Okay. Stone cutter. Yeah, I don't know. Like, the thing is, I don't really build a lot of buildings out of granite. So I think it's a good use for to have the plazas like granite. So that allows me to still have like other, what am I trying to say? So I'm not like using stone for every single thing. Or like even some of the other blocks that I like. It's not that I dislike granite, it's just I guess when I'm making buildings, I'm not a huge fan of it. That's a general statement. Not like opposed to building like regular buildings out of granite. It's just a unique color, but it blends well with, I don't know, it kind of blends well with like the natural green. Who knows if that made sense? But we're not here to make sense. We're here to craft. We're here to do some crafting. And destroying. Building and destroying. Yeah, I think this will be a little mob farm. So I put some torches down. No one needs a mob farm under their plaza. Yep. It's either level out with dirt or just do what I'm doing right now. Build a little bit slower, but I don't have to fill everything in with dirt. Anyone else? I think this is going to be a pretty short stream tonight. It's already pretty late. It's been a long day as well. Long day working. Clocking in for my second job here in the realm. You got to treat Minecraft like a job if you're ever going to make any progress. You got to love what you do. Yeah, there's zombies all around. They're just out of sight. Like, no one wants their plaza to be infested with zombies. Jeez. Alright, is this not bright enough? Surely. I would love to just burn all these trees. I don't know about y'all, but it bothers me whenever I misplace a block like that. Not enough to, I mean, it's not going to be visible, so I'm not going to fix that. Yeah, I think, it's a good place for a plaza. I think I just want to extend it out this way. So it could be like a nice view of like whatever I'm gonna build there. Thing is, you know, with any city, you gotta have like open green space as well. Watch me get blown up. Yeah, these trees gotta go. These funky ones always kind of annoying. That's why I like to set them on fire. Well, there goes that. Gonna have to go all the way back. Get some more axes. Like, okay, where's that coming from? The crevasse. Wow. I can at least maybe cover up the crevasse. Yes. Yes, we will do that. Nice. And if it's big enough, I could maybe even put some like some big spruce trees. Be cool to have them like spaced out throughout here. Some of the 4 or 2x2 spruce. The thick spruce. There's such a build up here. It kind of is what it is. They're still spawning under there. It would be cool to have a like a metro stop too. Like, you know what? That's actually a pretty good idea. You have the metro stop, and then like have the metro stop maybe next to it, or maybe like at the top of it somewhere. You come up here. Maybe there's a metro stop right there. Something. All right, I think I'm out of iron. Could it be? All right, so get. Try to find some iron. And what else? Oh, some axes. Which I thought I had axes already made. First things first. We'll check for iron here. I don't know if there's iron in this building. Can't remember. Okay, no iron here. I guess I'll do copper then. And do we have more granite? Got buckets. Maybe I'll keep a water bucket on me. Some more mud. Dirt, I should say. I have a ton of copper. Yeah, I'm very tempted to just burn that forest down. Do I have flint and steel? Do I have flint and steel? Flint and steel? Okay, do have that. All right, I know I have granite. I think I have granite. Well, I need dirt anyway. I think. Granite. Come on. Guess I don't have much granite. When I thought I did. Let's see, did I check the losing it? Can't remember if I checked the metro. I think I did though, right? Got too many chests, and I should spend some time just taking it all to the central stockpile. That'd probably save me a lot of time in the end. Granite. No granite. Alright. Granite, where are you? Oh, man. Well, I do see that granite, but I'm not going to dig that out. Okay, a little bit of granite. A lot more granite. Now we're cooking. What else can I get rid of? Guess I'll get rid of that. Is that granite? That wasn't granite. Alright, that will just have to do. Is it faster? What would be faster? This would. Oh. Yeah, that's pretty fast. Method of travel. Oh, that wasn't faster at all. Ah, dang it. Because now I'm on the completely wrong side of the map. Oh, that was so much. Whatever. Look, I know this is just riveting content. But yeah, all the stuff that's in chests in random places needs to go in this building. We'll get there eventually. Eventually. I think I was gonna play a YouTube video. Just one this time. I think we're gonna play a video from the channel Slessor. He does like creepy story time type deals. And been following him for a minute now. So let me get that queued up after we sleep through the night. He's got a really good channel. It's a good storyteller. All right, hopefully nothing jumps out at me. All right, let's see. Is this okay? I noticed last time that it was echoey whenever I had the video up. So try to avoid that for my voice to be echoey. Well. Oh, what? What? Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'm a bit of a noob, clearly. Alright, we'll go ahead and cue this up.
People who go down into these tunnels and
It's
actually
about
work
a
hours
New
and hours
York
every
City
day
sewer
in
worker.
difficult and unpleasant conditions, the city would just not be able to function. Now today I'm going to be talking about an encounter. This one was sent in by another subscriber called Frank, and in the late
Something's coming
1970s
towards me.
he was working as a sewer
Dog.
worker, and this was a lot more difficult than it is today. Today there are a lot more automation.
I am tempted to extend the plaza this way.
And machinery
That view gets better up here.
As much of the kind of
I'm like, I want to leave room for buildings.
In the 1970s, and
So like, let's say the building comes this far out.
Became more and more kind of difficult and very, very unpleasant, let's just say. So Frank started working in this industry when he was 18. It was effectively...
Yeah, it's got to go this way.
He did really bad in school. He got horrific grades, and he didn't really have any dreams of what he wanted to do.
And I don't have the patience.
He was guided into this job, and he really, really regrets not studying hard.
This fine evening.
But he didn't realize that his job would actually lead him to become extremely interested in some very creepy things. And there's a lot of speculations and different creepy theories about tunnels below cities all around the world, not just in the United States. But today we're going to be specifically focusing on Frank's experience that he had in the late 1970s, working down the sewers in New York.
Come on, guy.
Usually they have decommissioned tunnels. These are usually bricked up or sealed up. They also have manhole covers that are sealed until an engineer or a sewer worker goes back to do maintenance or perform like services or checks on the tunnel. They have special ways of opening these manhole covers, and then it will go down. There's like a ladder once you open the cover. And
curious about that. I thought they were just really heavy, the manhole covers.
Have become more and more advanced as the years have
Oh,
gone
what
by.
in the world?
But a lot of cities are still using the same piping that they used even back in the 80s and 90s. So whereas the systems might have changed, the materials and where the sewers are has not. And that's where Frank's job came in, because you know these systems in place, like the sewers, the pipes, where they are, how they run, the machinery, all of that needs to be maintained. It needs to be serviced. It needs to be reviewed. And guys like Frank, it was their job to go down there and make sure everything was running smoothly. Because
yeah, I'm kind of doubting this tree will get totally burned up.
Probably not very
Without some intervention.
Frank was out on his job one day, and he was given the task, along with two other guys, to go down and run a routine service on a manhole cover. It wasn't specifically on the cover, it was on what was below that. Now, he didn't specify or go into detail what it was about, but this particular area has been serviced around about...
I guess I was going to make some axes out of copper.
On 6 monthly cycles, but it depended on what kind of area it was and how important it was in the sewage system. So he turns up, he is fresh on the job, and he's making friends with the guys.
And clearly I need a chest as well.
Some of you might have seen, they got these massive, like, they look like crowbars or like massive hooks made of steel. And what they do is they slide them down into these kind of slots in between There's two on each side of the manhole cover, or some of them have one.
Oh, we're
They put
learning.
these metal hooks in, slide them in, and it fits, and then they pull it out. When they get this
That's
thing
how they
off,
get
you can
it.
then basically just see nothing. It's total darkness unless you
That's how
shine
they
a
open the
light down
manhole
there.
cover.
And some of the places have been known to have these kind of night lights glowing, so people can see where the first steps of the ladder are. But then past that point, you can't really see anything. It's not like there's all lights down there where everyone can just, see where they're walking and easily see everything. Because these guys that go down there are really courageous. They are really brave. They don't tend to have much fear. And also,
Sense.
they're having to put up with really unpleasant smells most of the time. But as Frank said, that was the least of his concerns. He started to realize that
And they got slime, weird slime in the sewers.
He needed to be concerned about, or at least something else he needed to be questionative about. And as he went into these jobs, like the one he's doing as I'm explaining now, he opens up the manhole cover,
I've noticed
goes down the
copper
ladder,
tools
and
hold
when he
up
gets
pretty
down to the
well.
bottom, he's then got to perform
It's not the worst thing in the world.
cleaning something. It could be fixing or replacing a part of machinery.
Maybe y'all
or
can tell me if
it could be, they could have leaks.
if copper is stronger than iron.
Huge issue, he said.
Pretty sure.
Even
No,
myself,
it's definitely not.
I'm not on about if you get your toilet blocked.
But it seems like it holds up pretty
Where I
good.
used to live, the whole street, like the sewage pipe blocked. I don't know why. I think someone might have been flushing like too many wet wipes down or something they shouldn't have been. And
Yeah, iron in real life is definitely stronger than copper.
Our sewage was totally blocked. And guys like Frank, but obviously in the UK, had to come to the road, drill the whole road up to get to the pipe, because there was no covers.
I think isn't copper like more malleable?
Road up in sections, and then go down and manually find where the blockage was, where they had to take the sewage pipe apart, and then I think they put this, they force water down it, like high pressure water, like a jet, that connects like a fireman's hose pipe, those thick hose pipes, they connect it to the pipe.
It's coming along nicely.
And just forces whatever is in there to just get moving. And that took, I think,
that's going to bother me.
3 weeks of really, really difficult situation where everyone in the street was like, what do we do? So Frank's job is way more complex than you probably think. And it's the same with my videos on the New York City bin man, or as I've forgotten what garbage man, is basically, their jobs are really important. Can you imagine even just one missed week of collection? The foxes, the pests, the animals.
Can't imagine.
Eating everyone's bags at the end of their life. It would be horrific. The smell, everything. So these guys are really important. And
yeah, they are.
They deserve a lot more respect. I'm going to be honest. So I'm saying it here on this channel. People need to respect guys like Frank who do these jobs a lot more. He doesn't do it anymore. He's retired. And the guys nowadays don't do as much of the grotty work that he and his colleagues used to have to do in the 70s and 80s and 90s and early 2000s. So
because now they got the
first job. I'm going to go back to where I was.
Hydraulic arm. Just to pick the trash up.
He's doing a routine.
I guess unless you're in the city, then you still have to haul the trash sometimes.
They check the oil, they check everything, make sure it's all good. The brakes, the tires, the coolant levels, whatever. Everything's got to be checked over nice and efficiently. And it's around about 1 to 3 hours, depending on what kind of things you're having checked or what you're having done. And the same applies for the tunnels of the sewers. There are things where they have to go along and check everything. They run tests. They might listen to the pipes. They might put equipment against it. There's all different things they do that I don't really understand. But Frank was trained in all of this, and it was pretty daunting. He said the first job he went down, he was scared. He got down to the bottom of the ladder. He was the first guy down there. They had headlamps, and it was creepy. When he got down to the bottom, he stood there, and he could look left or right. Every time he stopped looking at the pipe and focusing on his service or what he was doing, he would creep himself out because he would look down the tunnel and it went for miles. He said it was terrifying. It was creepy, and parts of where he was writing.
I think I would want to be
it wasn't done
in a sewer tunnel.
They didn't have touchscreens and tablets and iPads where they would, tap out the service on this.
They had Wi-Fi down there?
Everything was handwritten in the 70s. So he was down there and he was writing stuff out. He was trying to get stuff done. He had his headlamp on. One of the other guys had gone down with him. Another guy was up top.
Oh,
with
it
the
used to be
manhole
like
cover,
paper notes.
keeping sure everything was up okay up there. And all of a sudden, he is starting to hear strange sounds. So this is the manhole cover he is first servicing in his whole career as a sewer worker. And the sounds he described as being almost like echoes. And he said that he couldn't tell if these were normal, coming from cars driving over, the tops of the tunnels on the road, or if it was somebody else working in another area under New York City in the tunnels. Because the network under the city is huge, and Frank explained a lot about how it works to me. And most people have no clue. There are so many different networks and tunnels underneath New York City for all different reasons, not just sewers, not just the sewers. There's many, many reasons.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
And we'll get on to that later because he also talks about a creepy experience there. So once he's done this job, he packs away. Everything's looking good. He's now got the issue of trying to go back there the following year.
Right, that
so
oak log
he works a whole year.
burned away.
Sometimes they don't do jobs, but they're still getting paid.
I was a little
They're
concerned
basically on call. So kind of like
that we would have a floating block in the sky. Can't have that.
Paid when they're sat around waiting for stuff or problems to arise. So they just wait until they have an issue and then they go to it. Some weeks are quieter, some weeks are absolutely hectic and everything's going wrong. It all depends. A year passes and he's now got to go back to that same manhole cover to perform the maintenance and the service. Now this time he's only going with one guy.
Does he have to clean? What do you have to do down there?
Swapped and changed around all the time.
Maybe I missed that part.
And he was with a different guy. And this time the guy was going to stay up and Frank was going to be the only one to go down there. Now, he remembers this one because it was...
Make sure they don't get clogged up.
It had a lot of meaning to him. It had sentimental meaning because it was his first ever one he did.
Dang it.
And when they get the manhole cover up, and the first thing they realize is that 3 of the steps are missing. And these steps are made of real strong material. So he's a bit
like rebar.
What happened. He kind of, calls it in, he talks to his boss, and they look at getting them replaced. And as he goes down again, and he's listening out, and he hasn't even started the service at this point. He's hearing noises that are totally not normal. He's hearing noises of like literal work being done. So I'm talking drilling sounds, hammering, thumping, banging sounds, and they sound like they're coming from below the tunnel he's in. And with Frank's job, he was allowed to ask questions about these things, obviously, because if it was anything to do with him or his team or concerning what their work or the sewers of the city, he had to look into it. He had to fix it. But there were times when he would call stuff in to his boss, and his boss would just say, no problem. We can't look into this. It's nothing to do with us. These services and maintenance things that he has to do take between 30 minutes and 3 hours. So as you can imagine,
what does he have to do?
Frank is down there performing
Clean the slime off?
And all he is
off the walls?
Is bizarre noises. He's hearing, it sounds like construction work, and he said it sounds like it's coming from beneath him. And at some points, the tunnel that he is stood in feels like it is vibrating. And Frank would talk to his boss all the time, and his boss would say, whatever work is being done,
don't ask questions
of the city is really none of our business. As long as it doesn't affect the sewers or the piping that we're working with, then we're nothing.
He said, pipe down, Frank.
And that didn't sit right with Frank because he wanted to figure out what it was, but he wasn't allowed to know. And he finished up this job. He's still hearing the noises. It's extremely weird. He first thought that this was just normal work, but as it went on and continued, he just didn't seem to understand. And because with his job he gets all the networks and the tunnels, they get maps of where the tunnels
but they kind of learn the network. Over time they probably get a feel and to where they remember the different tunnels.
Another thing that really creeped him out and raised his suspicion because he wondered then if what if the map he has is only a certain percentage of the actual tunnels under the city. What if it's just the sewer tunnels? And there's a whole world of other tunnels down below there for other departments, other groups, and other people.
I mean, there probably is.
Until the third year, that he came back to service this same tunnel, and all of a sudden, he turns up with another team, and the manhole cover has been totally bust open. Like, it has been totally open, and the special equipment they use is specifically only designed so they can open it. Like, proper kind of authoritative people who have the ability to open these manhole covers. They're the
Must
only
be
people
a
who
certain
can
size
open it. It's like, you know, you should not
like
have
prongs
citizens,
that
groups of people,
go into the
or,
cover
you know, God knows what,
that like
opening
only
these tunnels,
certain people
opening
can
these manhole
can
covers
have
goes
access to.
down into the tunnels under the city. So immediately,
Like you
before he
can't
does
buy,
anything,
for
he has to
instance,
radio back or
sewer manhole cover
report back
um,
to his superiors what he has found
opener.
upon getting over to this manhole cover. And his boss completely just kind of bats it off and just thinks, yeah, someone's got in, it happens all the time, go ahead with the service. So this is his 3rd year anniversary of starting to work in the sewers of New York. The 2 steps had been replaced.
But it pays well.
Got that sorted. Another group of people came down and fixed all that. But now the manhole cover had been left open. And the weird thing he found about that was that people who do that are usually in a rush. They're usually running from something, or they usually just don't have time to put things back as they normally should be. Because if you were going down there and you wouldn't want someone to know that you were down there, then surely you would simply just shut the tunnel afterwards. Because if you had a way to open it, then you definitely know how to simply slide it across and fit it back in. Shutting the manhole covers is complex, but it's not as easy or even not as difficult as opening the tunnel manhole covers.
Come on.
So Frank was immediately kind of not comfortable. Now he'd been working for 3 years on this tunnel. He was now in charge of his group because he had 3 years experience. So he, too scared to go down there, told another guy in his team to go down and do the service. He gives him the clipboard, he gives him the headlamp.
Sloppy
he says, look, if you
with
need one of us
this
to come down, just yell
Plaza
or
here.
radio and we will come down and give you a hand. So this guy who he sends down has only been there a few months, and now he's taking over the job of doing this. And he gets down this ladder, he's really slow, he doesn't even know how to get down the ladder, he's very hesitant, very scared. And, you know, it was normal, Frank said, because that was how he was. A lot of the young guys that get into this line of work, well, it's not their dream. They never saw themselves doing it. They don't really want to do it. They didn't get very good grades.
But does it pay well?
In a sense. And
it's all about the money.
They didn't want to go into any other job. They were kind of just given this job. And the guy was really, really bad at getting down this ladder. Because the way they do it is they put the clipboard, they connect it to their body, and obviously they've got the headlamp around their forehead. So their hands are free and their feet are free to get down the ladder safely. And this guy was just shaking. He looked, because it's quite a long way. Some of them you've got to go like, I mean,
long
up
as
to
this
like
video.
40 or 50 meters down a ladder.
Need to
so it can be seen
end the
as
stream
crazy
soon.
Scary. And I don't know if they use oranges, but I'm guessing they will. That deep, because that is, you know, it's very dangerous. But this guy was very scared because he's climbing down a totally dark tunnel, and it's very deep. It's a long drop, so he's scared. And he gets down to the bottom. It takes him like 10 minutes to get down this ladder, Frank said. And by the time he gets down there, he does not move from being able to be seen by the team. So obviously you've got like a very small area where you can just see like a circular bit with his headlamp looking around and his helmet, his orange helmet. And Frank's looking down at this guy, and he's calling down to him, like, I don't know, 20, 30 meters down. And he's telling him where to go, that it's to the right, and that where to look for the actual part or whatever he's doing.
He's got the tunnels memorized.
Won't move. he stood in that same spot where Frank can see him, and he's looking around as if he is seeing things. And in that moment, Frank didn't really question the guy's reaction because he actually believed it. This was a young lad who, wasn't going to make a load of nonsense up,
Okay.
wasn't going to try and make excuses. He went down and he did it. But he wasn't moving from the spot he was stood at. And Frank was calling down to him. He's like, "Is everything okay? What's going on? Can you give us some feedback? We want to see if everything's all good. Are you freaking out? Like, you need to come back up. That's all good. I can go down." And he's not replying to the team.
He gone.
He is literally just looking around. And Frank could tell by his head movements that he was scared. It's almost like if you're in a dark forest or anywhere dark and you hear noises, your head turns like quickly to where that noise is, right?
Freaky.
So if I'm looking this way and I hear a noise over down here on the left of me, and it like happens in a split second, while I'm looking that way, I'm going to immediately look to where the noise is. And that's not normal. That's not a normal way people look around when they're.
I think this is a pretty good sized plaza.
They don't go around going like, or some people do in New York, but we know why. But the rest of the people who are like totally just working jobs and going around and they're enjoying New York for the great things it has to offer. This guy was turning his head with fearful twitches, like movements, like he was reacting to something or sounds down this tunnel. And Frank thought at first, okay, he's heard the noises. They're still going on. It's the same working sounds of like machinery, digging, like hammers and drills and stuff. And he calls down, he's like, "Ignore the works going down below. That's totally normal." And he's
totally normal. Ignore all that.
Not answering back. He's not calling back. Instead,
The top secret government tunnel boring projects.
Not necessarily sign language, but they use hand signs. If they can see each other, but they can't hear each other, because sometimes these pipes are flowing at such high rates, it's so loud, or there's machines down there, or pumps, or whatever. It's so loud, they can't hear each other. You can yell at the top of your lungs, you won't be able to hear your fellow colleague. So they use some kind of signal.
Like walkie-talkies?
Very basic. It'll be like 5 to 10 hand signs that mean very important things, like 5 or 10 emergencies or warnings or something's gone wrong. And he turns around and he gives him the hand sign for something's wrong, like just basic hand sign. I'm in trouble.
They're gonna get the new guy.
The service he's performed gone wrong and a part failed, causing catastrophic failure to some of the sewer system. Or it could mean he is in danger. It could mean that perhaps he has had a health emergency. It could mean that there is imminent danger to both of them.
You know what? I really should just put torches down here first.
Or something, an animal or something down.
I gotta do it.
People obviously talk about the rats down in the sewers and stuff. That's, again, the least of their concerns.
Or I could just
so he gives his hand sign, and immediately Frank...
I'll get the torches later.
Come back up the ladder. Come back up the ladder now. And this guy he's given the hand sign, but he's not getting up the ladder. All Frank can see is him looking in the direction of where the
okay, I'm kind of scared.
tunnel goes down. This time he's not moving his head around fast, like he's hearing things in both directions of the tunnel. Instead, what he's doing is he's just focusing down the right side, which is where he's supposed to go.
Alright, I'll just put some torches down there later.
Because he knows that if this guy was unsure, he would not have given the emergency hand sign. He would not have done that. He was strictly taught, you don't just give that if you're confused or unsure or a bit hesitant
willy-nilly
of what's going on. That is an emergency. That is like an SOS when someone can't hear you. And he was specifically not, Frank said this whole time, he could have just called up about anything. They were around 20 meters down. He could have heard him. Yes, it would have been extremely echoey, but you could still hear one another. And this is where it creeped Frank out, and he thought, there's somebody or something down there, because the guy wasn't calling up. and he seemed like he didn't like Frank calling down to him, because every time Frank tried to keep calling down, he would give the
It's
hand
like,
sign,
oh,
and it got worse. Eventually, he is not knowing how to communicate with this guy.
terrifying.
Watching him, stood down there, staring down the right tunnel.
I really do like this guy's channel.
We are wasting our time. We've got to be at another job in another, couple of hours. This is not good. I need to swap with this guy, and he needs to come back up. So they are trying to get his attention, and all he's doing is now staring down the tunnel, as if he is mesmerized by something, terrified by something, and yet he is not coming up the ladder. It doesn't make sense. And at one point, so Frank's up the top. He's got another couple guys with him. One of the guys is running the traffic control stuff, because when they do work on these areas in the sewers, sometimes it affects parts of the traffic of quieter roads in New York. So they have to put out temporary lights. They have to put out cones, fluorescent signs, and cones and stuff. One guy was in charge of all that and keeping the vehicles out of the way of the traffic. Another guy was there for communications and reviewing
Big operation
going on. And then there was Frank, who was in charge of the whole thing. So as Frank goes up, he's trying to get the attention of the other guys, and he probably spends the best part of 20 to 25 seconds not looking down at the guy in the tunnel. And when he looks back, the guy is not there. He's not climbing up the tunnel, because he would have been able to see with his headlamp, and he's not stood down there. He can't see anything.
Oh, snap.
In fact, he could see to the bottom because of the guy's headlamp. Now he can't see anything. He can't even see a quarter of the way down the ladder. It's total darkness. He didn't hear anything. He didn't hear any yells. He didn't hear any calls up or anything. They don't know what has happened to this guy. So Frank makes the decision to simply go down. Okay? He was terrified, yes, but he decides he has to go down. This is one of his, lads. He's basically an apprentice, and he's learning how to do all this.
I wonder what they call. I guess they're sanitation workers.
An emergency is happening.
Is that the title?
So Frank immediately gets his equipment and his gear on. He literally speeds down the ladder. He's super experienced now. 3 years on the job. He's got good technique.
He's a veteran.
He's very confident in himself and his abilities and his knowledge on the tunnel. So he gets to the bottom. He respects the tunnels. He knows that there's things that are unknown of them. But he's confident he can
Respect the
figure out where the
tunnels.
hell this guy is. He gets to the bottom. There's no lights anywhere. Just his headlamp. That is a big problem. Okay? Because it means that this guy either walked so far or run so far that Frank cannot see his headlamp, or it means it's gone out. And he is somewhere that can't be found. Because obviously Frank looked left and right with his headlamp, and even in the late 1970s and the early 80s, they had very strong headlamps, very strong. And they could see for, hundreds of meters in total dark tunnels. That obviously it's not the same if you're outside in a forest, because the light isn't as condensed. It doesn't bounce off the tunnel walls. But in a tunnel, you could see for a very long way, even with older kind of flashlights and headlamps. He couldn't see this guy. He couldn't hear him. He called out for him. And guess what he could hear? Same work going on down below. A year later. In fact, the same noises had been going on for 3 years. Now, he's an expert. He isn't an expert in building stuff or doing underground construction. But he's pretty sure that 3 years of work that's heard in the exact same place under it is extremely bizarre, because it means that they're doing something for that long, and it doesn't seem to make any sense. That's the last of his concerns in this moment. He needs to figure out where his worker is. So he starts walking down the right tunnel the way he saw him go, or thought that's the way he was looking. Obviously, he just disappeared. He didn't see him go down it. As he walks
2
down
ways
the
he could have
tunnel,
gone.
He immediately starts to feel very uncomfortable. He starts sweating, which is common in these tunnels because it's very, very hot. It's very clammy. The air's not very nice. It's not great quality, but it was too quick. He said it's gradual. It builds up. You sweat slowly. He was pouring with sweat by the time he had made it down to the bottom. Not normal. It wasn't a heat wave. It wasn't very hot. So he noted that straight away. As he gets further and further down this tunnel, he starts to hear noises. They're breathing noises. They do not sound good. Sounds like someone is breathing heavily, they're scared, they're in danger.
It's the
And he
worker.
thinks, I found him. So he thinks, okay, he's just basically panicked and he's ran, you know.
Why would you run, though?
He's not set out for this job. We're going to have to, you know, just lay him off, basically. We're going to have to, you know, fire him because he can't do this job unless he gets a job where he's above the tunnel and he's doing some kind of
Traffic
control or something, or vehicle related work.
Right.
So Frank keeps walking and he comes up to it. He's on the tunnel to the right. And he's lying to the corner of it, right up the side. His headlamp's off. And he's panicking. He is shaking, he's hyperventilating, he's even terrified of Frank. He's acting as if he has seen something. And Frank thought that, you know, this guy had traveled over 150 meters roughly from the point of where the ladder stopped. And he found that really strange because in the 20 or so seconds he hadn't been looking, it would have taken him another 20 or 30 seconds or even longer to travel that distance, even if he was running fast. So he had walked quite a long way and was now laying at the side of the tunnel, just losing his mind basically and getting terrified.
Crashing out.
Claustrophobic. And he picks this guy up, he grabs him by his collar, and he just basically says, "Look, I'm here now. Stop acting. You know, you're just becoming, you know, you're
Get it together, buddy."
Basically. You're having a panic." And the guy starts to not relax at all. He repeats over and over to Frank that there is something in the tunnel, that there are people or like long-limbed people.
Oh, that's
like,
so
I
freaky.
don't know, Slenderman or something, what people would call Slenderman. Very tall, pale kind of people with very long arms and legs. And this guy started explaining what he saw. And Frank was just like, "Look, you're just seeing things, you know, because you're panicking, you became claustrophobic, you are hallucinating." So he picks the guy up by the collar, brings him to his feet, and his legs are literally like jelly. They just literally give way again, and he collapses to the floor. He is panicking that much that he has lost control of all his muscles and his nervous system. So Frank gets him to control himself, focus on his breathing, relax. And Frank convinces him that he is seeing these things because he is hallucinating from the fear, the intense fear he is having. It's that adrenaline spike where he thought he was under attack. And eventually he pulls him back up to his feet from his collar and he stands firm this time. And they both walk very fast back to the ladder and they both go up. When this guy goes up, he will not shut up about what he saw to the other guys, those two guys on the road. Frank now has the job of going down to finish the service. It wasn't even started, really. And that whole time, he is hearing noises in his tunnel. And he said these noises were footsteps, sniffling sounds, and grunting.
I'm freaked out.
As if other people were in this tunnel. And after having dealt with one of his workers having that kind of panic episode, he was convinced that there was something down there. Yet this young lad was not simply claustrophobic or panicking because he couldn't be in tunnels. He'd never had an issue like this his whole life, and they asked him that before he started the job, before he got the job. So what was wrong? What had he seen? And what was Frank actually hearing when he went down to complete the service?
They're building an underground base.
There was anything, didn't go near Frank or do the same thing to him. But Frank said he felt like he was being watched, and he heard all those noises, and he found it really strange. So there's also another encounter that he had, which I want to quickly add. So earlier, some of you might remember that I mentioned the decommissioned tunnels underneath the city. There's quite a few of them, and the main reasons are that they're just old tunnels. They have old systems, old piping. The way they were, built isn't really compatible with the new technology, machinery, materials.
See, I may just have to
or
go
even the workforce who don't know how to
straight
use
up
the
with
old
this.
stuff. So what they'll often do is either just leave the tunnel but most of the time they will block it off. They'll either brick over it or they'll seal over it and try to just close it off because they know that people are going to try and explore down
Actually,
there, people try and get down there, and they just want to kind of remember that this is the area that is decommissioned. One day, Frank was working a job and he gets called from
I think
someone
it's
who
pretty
also
good. I
works
just want to
in the
keep
city.
going out long
And
ways.
this guy is immediately telling all the guys that he
Just
saw
kind of
something
want
one
to
day at work
keep
that didn't seem to make any sense.
trying to
And
figure out.
Frank had worked on a couple tunnels that have been decommissioned
I guess
after
I'll
the
go
90s,
angled
and he
up,
couldn't
but then
believe
I'll
this guy
lose
was
a
saying.
lot of the
This guy was
long
trying to say
ways
that one of
portion.
the tunnels they'd sealed up had been partially just like knocked through. So if you imagine a tunnel with just, I mean, just imagine it being bricked up. Imagine a massive tunnel just
Bricked
full of
up.
brick, and it is just at the left
I
corner.
think that
There's
has
just
another
a
meaning.
massive hole where someone has smashed through it, or something has smashed through it. And that's what this guy was saying that they had seen. And Frank was like, "What are you on about? Why would somebody feel the need to do that? You know, you imagine the tools and the machinery that someone would need to take down there in order to do such a thing. That is actually
I
so
gotta get off
hard
the
to think of."
stream.
So, of course, the first thing Frank does is he goes straight to where this is. And he goes down. Literally, the entire group are there, and they're just like, "We need to figure out what is going on." And they go down into this particular tunnel, and they got to walk quite a way.
Gotta get
all
some
the way to
sleep.
the end where the decommissioned tunnel is, which is no longer in use. And for starters, he's like, "How did
That
this guy
freaking
know
ant on me.
that this had happened? Because to even be there, you would have had to have trekked a long way with no real purpose." So it did seem a bit strange how this guy actually found out about it, because unless he was just walking around aimlessly for no reason, or, well, yeah, that was really the only reason, other than if he heard some kind of explosion or a
At 3-2.
noise, or someone using like a massive hammer to try and smash through the wall. And when Frank went down there, sure enough, the left side of this tunnel that had been bricked over was smashed in. It looked like someone had used a sledgehammer and just started,
Sledgehammer.
trying to knock through the bricks. And there was a passage that they created which was big enough for an average sized guy to crawl through. So, you know, about 1.5 to 2 foot in height, and another 1.5 to 2 foot in width. So they were looking at this thinking, who's done this and
Alright guys,
why do
well,
they need to
this
do
is the
this?
plaza.
For one, they found a way down into the
Probably
tunnels,
finish it
and
out
for two, they've just for some reason
at a later
wanted to
date.
go down there. So a lot of this was very secretive. None of it got out. No one really heard about any of it. And Frank's team.
Thank you
and
for
the people he
tuning
worked
in
with were
and
given the job
watching.
of having to basically
You can
redo the whole thing.
finish this
But
guy's
the whole time they
video
were doing this job,
if
the
you so
whole team was
choose.
asking